Hello everybody, Omar here with the Friday update, and this one was a doozy because of course last weekend I raced, and I just wanted to give you a nice little update on everything that happened over there in Sarasota, Florida. Of course, this is a big race that I've been training ever since. Well, I've been training the whole winter, but really the last month and a half after my son was born, I really kicked it up a notch, and I felt pretty good going into it. I mean, I wasn't like 100%, and also I got sick with the flu, and expand. So I wasn't a 100%, but I was very excited. I was ready to kick off the season, and I went for it. So I just want to show you how things looked. So let's go ahead and share the screen right here. So we're gonna go to the actual race over here, which is all the way over here. We got a Sarasota County multi-sport, and we're gonna start with the swim first. All right. So as you can see, the current was coming from over here to over here, so it was pushing me all over the place. It was a pretty hard swim. It was announced it was like 750 meters, like it should, but as you can see, I swam 14 point. Let's see here. This is about 950 yards, which is 800. 950. Well, usually it's about 825 yards for a regular triathlon race, and I swam 950 yards. So you can see that I was like all over the place here. The current was just pushing me all over, especially coming back. My pace was pretty good. It was 149 per 100 yards, and my time was 17:40. I was expecting somewhere in the 16s, maybe in the somewhere in the 15s, but unfortunately I wasn't able to swim straight. Maybe it's something that it's gonna change as time goes by. Let's look at how things went. See, as you can see, my pace remained about the same. This is of course a turn, but yeah, where I lacked is right here. As you can see, I didn't swim as straight as I wanted to, so I missed out on that a little bit. So next race, I'll be sure to fix that. I had a really fast transition. We're actually gonna go to the events tab here for paratriathlon events, so you guys can see my splits, past events, and yes, results. Of course, I'm a PTS4 man, and you'll find me here. And I don't know why it's no, here it is. So as you can see, my swim was a 18-minute swim. I wanted to be somewhere around in there, like I said, 15 and a half, maybe 16s, maybe keep up with these guys. Then number 3 Joel, and wanted to swim better than Andrew, but somewhere in between Joel and Andrew, that's where I wanted to end up at. And of course I didn't swim straight, as you saw, so I ended up getting a 18 for the swim. Now for T1, I was let's see, I was actually the fastest in T1 with a 50 second T1 out of the gate, so that's really good. Now we're gonna get into the bike. And of course, as you guys can see, on the bike I was the last place, and I'll show you why. I actually had a pretty rough crash in this race, and so we'll go into the bike here. So as you guys can see, I started going pretty good. Let's go into the speed. So I went out the gate. I was averaging, as you can see, somewhere around 24, 22, something. I was in pace to do really good, and then at the 7:26 mark, I experienced a crash, and I'll show you exactly where that happened. This video right here. We have a nice little video of the race course. 360, so you guys can see everything that happened. This is the straightaway that goes after the this is the long straightaway, and then there's a little S-turny kind of S-pin curves right here on the back side. And this is not the actual race, this is just a footage from the course earlier. So I was coming around, I was doing my thing, I was like I am right now. I was in the aero position. I thought I was doing pretty well, and as soon as you can see right here, the course does a right turn, and then it does a nice little 90-degree turn into the other side. Right here, in this turn, I tried to go from the aero position into the drop position, and as you can see, I don't have an arm to hold me over. So for a split second, I basically have to trust, my training and my, what I do every time, and I go from the aero into the drop bar in order to be able to brake and make the turn. Well, this time something happened. The wind hit me or something, and I completely missed the handle right here. So my chest went into the bar right there, and of course I crashed. Somewhere around here before this parking lot right here, I crashed, and as you can see, the initial crash, it went from 732, and I got up, I assessed the condition of my bike, see what I needed to do, up to, I started going again around 8:30. So I lost about a minute and a half right here. But not only that, my bike was in pretty bad shape. The aero bar, this guy right here, went actually into the rim right here. So every time that I would paddle, I would hear the spoke hit my aero bar, go tunkun 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 tunk. So it was pretty bad. I just wanted to get to the so my crash happened somewhere around here. So I wanted to, and this was the first lap, it was a 3-lap race. I wanted to get to the wheel station to see if anyone had a wrench or anything. The wheel station was over here. So I rode this whole stretch of road basically with my bike, let's see if I can do this. So as you can see, I rode this whole time. Just my bike was like definitely getting some damage, and as you can see, I finally got to the wheel station right here, and I went to work on it. Of course, the people at the wheel station did not have any tools, and even if they did, they couldn't hand me a tool because then I would be disqualified. So I don't know what I was really thinking. I was just kind of like I had just crashed, so I was just kind of like trying to go through all my options. So when I got there, they explained that to me, so thankfully they didn't help me. But one of my coaches, his name is Wes, he actually told me to turn my bike, get the wheel out and turn it over, and actually so take off that wheel, turn the bike upside down, and basically mule kick the aero bar into place. So I went ahead and tried to do that. I mean, this, as you can see, this took a while. So from here, some 1328 or so, up to 17. So it took me 5 minutes to able to get that going. And what happened after that, the whole rest of the race, I did not what happened, see this cable right here that goes into the bike, this is the, well, I think this is the brake cable, but there's another cable that goes there within the bike, that when I mule kick that aero bar into place, well, that cable got snapped, so I was not able to switch my bike into gear. I was in the lowest gear. What happens is when your bike crashes with the ITU system, it goes into crash mode. So it goes to the lowest gear and the lowest of the rings. So this whole time over here, the rest of the race, I was just super high on the cadence. I want to just show you, like, this was my regular cadence, just going through the beginning of the race. And of course, this is me dealing with the bike. As you can see, I was kind of like not wanting to destroy the bike because it was already clanking. For the rest of the race, after I tried to fix it, you guys can see what I was doing here. I was pedaling super high, like 137 RPMs, and then I would let go. I would do it again and let go. I would do it again and let go. And that's basically what I did for the rest of the race. It hurt a lot. My heart rate, as you can see, it didn't get up there anymore. It sucked. It was bad. So what did I do here? So overall, I believe I lost like somewhere between 8 to 10 minutes and the bike race. And as you can see in the results, it shows, because as you can see, I have a 38, 36, give or take 8 to 10 minutes. We'll just leave it at 9. It would have left me somewhere around 29, 30 or something like that. So I would have been somewhere over here, 4th place. I mean, me and Joel usually bike very similarly. He lives in Austin, and I haven't had that much time, so maybe he would have put in 30 to a minute, or me, something like that. I don't know, who knows? But it definitely wouldn't been that. So I would end up maybe with a 29, 30, something like that. And well, I'll tell you this much: when I crashed, maybe 30 seconds into it, I saw Andre pass me. So and Andre got a 29.19. So who knows? Maybe I would have got like a 28 something, and that would have put me somewhere, competitive to Joel. So that happens sometimes. Just can't foresee these things. But the important thing is that I got up and I went for it. So for T2, I got the second fastest T2 of the race, followed by Joel. He beat me by 4 seconds in the T2. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with my transition times. Very competitive. I got first and then second. So I definitely got my transitions down. And now we're going to the run, which of course I got the fastest run of the entire field with a 18:42. So we'll go see the run over here. And the run is pretty straightforward. You start from the beginning over there, and you go up a little hill, and you go down the hill, then up a bridge, and then from here to over here is really flat. So it's basically running a track. So as you can see, the elevation doesn't go up that much. And now we're gonna look at my pace. So as you can see, I was very steady at 6-minute miles the whole entire way. I had little spurts of speed right here at 5:45, and definitely at the very end here, I was just running a little mad. I was running at 5:30, 5:40, 5:19 here at the very end, 5:09, and I finished definitely on the somewhere in the 5 right here. So I definitely finished hard. My heart rate profile looks pretty good, like what I should be doing. Start easy and finish as hard as I could. And I got 180. I seen my heart rate go all the way to like 186, 190. So I definitely had a little bit in the tank there towards the end to give it. My stride length is pretty good. Vertical ratio, all that stuff is good. So yeah, I'm happy with my run. I was, like I said, definitely running mad, and I was able, and I was bloody, and I don't know if you can see, that's part of it. And I got more on my arm back there, and so I mean, give it all, taking all consideration. I had a pretty good race. I mean, I'm happy with my performance except for that crash, but I definitely my will to finish was in display, and I'm happy with what could have been. And the next race, I'm definitely not gonna make the same mistakes, and I'm gonna again give it my best. And this week, me and my coach, we have devised a plan of attack for the next month or so. I'm going to a camp in April, beginning of April, going to just outside of Vegas for a 4-day camp with my Team Semper Fi, my team, and we'll see what happens. Getting ready for the races that's gonna be happening. I have a race in late April. It's gonna be the Salem Spring Tri in Utah. And then after that, in May, hopefully I can get into that Japan race in Yokohama. And if I cannot get into that, I definitely will go to the World Cup and Eton Dorney. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's in Great Britain. So May is looking like a crazy month for me. So we'll see what happens. And with that, I just want to show you something fun. If you didn't see this is pretty funny to me. This is me like the day after, you know, it was the race, and then the Sunday after that I travel, and this is actually on Monday. So I want you guys to see what I was doing here. I was, you know, all bloodied up or whatnot, already giving it all I can.
You're hit.
And of
You're
course,
bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
we got a little bit of Predator, one of my favorite movies there, and then I showed you that already. Well, I think we're gonna call it. That was the update for this week, and please, guys, everything that you do, even if you just cheer me out there. Someone's calling me. Oh, it was Lindsay, my wife. She was calling me from the other room. Maybe it's something important. Anyways, anything you guys do to cheer me on, you know, from supporting me on the GoFundMe page, or just, you know, posting a little bit of cheers on my page helps me out immensely, and I thank you very much for all that. I'm gonna keep you updated through this whole journey, and next time it's just not gonna be like this time. It's gonna be better, and that I promise you. So this is Omar on the way to Tokyo. Thank you guys. Bye.